No questions that you can read on Wikipedia.
All right. I mean, so first thing is, like, obviously you've played in the Midlands quite a few times recently. Birmingham, Wolverhampton, Leamington this year. It's kind of like a lot of people see it as the birthplace of heavy metal. Do you kind of get that feeling from the sort of audience responses and the kind of?
Yeah, I do. I think that they get it, but not just the birthplace of heavy metal, but you remember the Specials and Selector and bands like that came from that area as well. So yeah, I feel a love for the working class of Midlands for sure. Yeah.
All right, and obviously these a lot of bands have come out of the Midlands over the years, like the ones you mentioned, bands I mentioned as well. Is that still happening now? Particularly with kind of metal bands in the Midlands. We've seen the classic bands like Black Sabbath split up.
Yeah, but what you find with this internet thing, what you find is a band doesn't represent its hometown like it used to in the olden days. Like they're from Manchester, they're from Birmingham, because it's like the world is all surrounded around YouTube and the internet. So it's like whether a band's from Spain or whatever, it's not like it used to be where a band's from Cardiff or a band's from Manchester. I think that time died around. Like a band's a band now. It ain't. And I don't care where it's. I don't think it's about where you're from. It's about where you're at, bro. All
right. So you feel like the internet's kind of is that a good thing, or is that kind of?
Oh, that's a fucking bastard. That internet thing, man, it killed rock and roll. And the same is made rock and roll. The rock and roll I grew up and lived with, it's taken the soul out of it. The internet have. I mean, when I heard of a band called the Specials, I had to wait like 6 months for their album to come to my record store. I couldn't just go and Google them. You know what I mean? And the anticipation of hearing I wouldn't even know what all I'd know is the single off the album, and I'd have to take that home and listen to it. Now you get the chance to preview the album on internet. To me, mate, I'd have nothing to do with the internet, but I'm just a little cog in the machine. The machine is far from Benji Webbe.
Of course, quite a big part though.
Control of a little bit, I guess.
I mean, so obviously your last album came out 2015, 2 years ago. You've been touring pretty heavily ever since. Yeah. Kind of what's up next in the pipeline?
Now the pipeline next, I think we've got a song coming out in January just to bridge the gap.
Oh, fantastic!
A song of ours called "Machine," and that should be out January sometime, just to bridge the gap. And actually, we recorded that with a good friend of mine from a band called Reef. Gary and came down to the studio and we recorded a song with him, and also another friend of mine, and like to drop names, you see, another friend of mine, Phil Campbell from Motorhead, played guitar on there.
Oh,
so
wow.
We had a little party at the studio. So we got Phil Campbell from Motorhead, who lives down the street from me, because he's Welsh, like me, and Gary from Reef. He's one of my favourite British vocalists, by the way. So to be in the studio with him was fantastic.
Superb. I mean, so you're playing in Leamington Spa, which is a big student town. A lot of students in this area, Birmingham, Warwick universities. How do you think you can get kind of younger people more involved in metal music? We've got pretty thriving rock societies, metal societies within universities, but obviously might not be kind of something that immediately springs to mind for people. So how do you think kind of that universities can play a role in getting younger people into metal music?
You got a radio station? Play some rock and roll on there. Discover music. Yeah, well, that's all you can do, baby. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, If you keep playing rock and roll on your radio station, hopefully it'll lick into somebody's soul. Next thing you know, they're a big fan.
Enough. Do you think there's a risk that the fan base isn't being refreshed like it used to be? That it's kind of aging, the fan base?
No, I think rock and roll music, heavy metal music especially, is passed on through generation to generation. It's the only show that you can go to a metal concert where you can see 4 generations or 3 generations of people in the audience. The father, the son, and the new kid. They're good as well. So I think rock music, especially the sort of download, Reading kind of people, it's something that's in your blood and you grow with it. It's not. Very rarely I the people and they say I used to like heavy metal. It just don't happen. You're either in for life or you're not.
Next thing up, so obviously Skindred and before that your old band Dub War, you combine genres a lot. You combine kind of reggae, metal, all kinds of different influences. What do you kind of say is the key to doing that successfully? Because lots of bands try and do it, but maybe not successfully as you guys might have done. What would your kind of advice be to bands who are trying to go out and?
Well, in all honesty, mate, I couldn't say for bands, but all I know is that growing up in a very mixed household, a very mixed lifestyle, that's been really attracted to Skindred and Dub War. You know, the music that I make, the change I can see. So I just love music, so I wanted to do it all in the same band. And I do something that someone can just say, yeah, I'm going to be in a reggae metal band. You know, it's something that you got to feel. You know, you got to be in you.
So it's kind of more, the music's more kind of organic.
No, this is what I do, bro. I'm just insane, and I love everything, and I want it all at the same time. You know, that's just me, and that's why you got Skindred and Dub War. You know, because I used to sing just reggae, and it was boring as fuck. And you know, I just thought music is a beautiful thing, but I just think it's not. It's like, and not another chord like that. There's no expression in it. You know, Bob Marley, I think, he's one of the classics who actually did express himself and make music like punky reggae music. You know, and that's why I like that. But for me, I think it's about. It's not just about the music. It's about actually the person who's driving the force of the music. You know.
Bit of a cheeky question. I mean, you said no Wikipedia. This might be Wikipedia. I'm not sure. Favourite album you've released? Failing that, favourite song?
I'd say Roots Rock Riot is pretty good. That's a pretty strong album. I think that's a good album, yeah. That was our second record. I think I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot at that time within my personal life, and every one of them songs, stuff like that, stands out to me, you know. So I've got a lot of emotions tied up in that record, more than the others, really. You know, I was going through a lot of changes in life.
Is there a song that you're sick of playing and sick of people asking to hear?
Pressure. Sick to fucking death of that thing. I wish Mikey'd lose that fucking wah-wah pedal. You know? My life would be a lot easier. But saying that, if any time we need to drop a song, I always say drop Pressure. But it is a killer song. But it is my least. I think it's because I've been playing it for 20 years. Like yes, it's Pressure.
Fair enough. Unfortunately, that is the only song on our radio playlist by Skindred, though I'm doing my best to sort that out.
Good. I'm glad it is. Keep that PRS running, baby. Keep playing it.